Welcome back. We are on day 9 of our yarn painting project. So I always like to kind of, in my mind, when it's day 9, I like to think of it as the last day, air quotes though. Like, we know next class is our turn-in day, so that's going to be, where we talk about like all the little details to get maximum points and just kind of put that finalized bow on our art journal before we submit it into Buzz. That being said, if you need a little extra time to get your project done as well, we've got that bonus time built into next class as well. So just wanted to remind you of that. But ideally, we're getting our project done or really close to done today. Side note, for those of you that are ahead of schedule and you're like, mine's already done, what do? I want to remind you that there are a few different options for you. So for extra credit, you can use the little index cards and make another yarn painting. The bonus extra credit yarn painting would not have to be a landscape. So just thinking of that as an option, as long as it's something that's school appropriate, which all of your work should be, please, right? It's fine. So anything you can think of. So maybe you do a portrait of your pet, or maybe you do like a really cool sports car, or I don't know. Sky's the limit on this one. So anyway, just keeping that in mind. So that's going to be one of your options. Another option would be to do some braiding, making some friendship bracelets, or braided bracelets, however you want to think of them. So that's going to be another option too, and you can find some videos on how to do that right in our slides and in the club or in the Art Hub as well. Or honestly, you can just go to any of your favorite, like YouTube or wherever, and search braided bracelets, and you're going to find a multitude of different options. So if you think that the options we have are too simple, or you just don't like the style of them, don't feel like you have to commit to one of the videos that we have provided, you can always find your own, as long as you're showing us in the art journal some braided bracelets, friendship bracelets. We will give you the extra credit for trying them out and completing them and extending your learning. Another thing we like to chat about on day number 9 is the Hall of Fame. So as a reminder, the Hall of Fame is not a requirement. You do not have to put your artwork in the Hall of Fame. However, if you want to share it with your RVA family, which we hope you do, go ahead and click on the Hall of Fame. You're going to claim your frame by putting in your name and then add in the picture of your artwork. And if you did any of the bonus stuff, feel free to add that in there too. That is totally okay. As a reminder, when it comes to your grade, so like in your art journal, photo quality, like if it's a little bit, well, ideally it's not too blurry, but like if it's a little bit blurry or pixelated or a little dark, but I can still see it okay, you are not going to get downgraded in any way. However, in the Hall of Fame, if you are like really excited about your project and you're hoping that it might make it into the end of the year art show, for the Hall of Fame, photo quality does matter if you want it to make it to the end of the year art show. And I know that might seem a little strange, like almost backwards, but here's the reason why. That end of the year art show, we're going to take photos from the Hall of Fame and we have to put them into this program, and the photo quality just has to be at a certain level for it to even work and for it to show up well in the art gallery that we make, which is why we, like I've literally had it where in the Hall of Fame there's like the coolest art project and I'm like, I want that for the end of the year art show, but the photo quality was just not good enough. It was too blurry, it was too zoomed out, it was too pixelated, it was too dark or off center where I couldn't see the entire piece of artwork. Whatever the case may be, we don't want that, or we can't have that actually in the end of the year art show. So if this is a piece you're particularly proud of and you think it might make it to the end of the year art show, just make sure you're taking a nice, good photo. So you can still use your Chromebook camera, but usually cell phones are a little bit better. And then just making sure you know that you're in natural light. If you look in your art journal, there's actually an entire section dedicated, like one of the first slides is dedicated to things to consider for taking pictures, and in the mentor video too. Anyway, so we're going to just slide past that now. Just wanted to remind you on that. And then I want to have some work time today. Do you agree? So we are going to continue working on our yarn painting. Once again, if you're already done, feel free to be working on the extra credit instead. So let's take some time together and work on that yarn painting. You guys can be working right along with me. So gather out your supplies and let's get going. are. This is as far as I made it for today. I've got all of this done, but you can see I do have a little bit that I'm saving for day 10. Of course, if I find time later in the day, I might still work on that. But otherwise, I know that I can definitely get that done on our turn-in day, on our bonus day. So anyway, that's where we're leaving off. I would recommend that by the end of today, or at least before our next class, I would say let's try to make sure we're at least 85 to ideally 90% done or more for the yarn painting, because really tomorrow we want to more so focus on getting it turned in for maximum points. So we don't want to have a ton that we have left to do on this. I would say, maybe 15 minutes or less would kind of be ideal. So once again, I've just got this area here. I'm feeling confident I can get that done next class. So for now, I'm going to put this aside for another option too, since I'm not quite done. But hey, you know what? Things might happen between now and next class. Maybe I just take a quick little photograph on it just in case something does happen. It's not done, but guess what? If I were to turn this into my art journal, I'm going to get a lot more of those points than if I have no picture in there and I say, whoops, my at-home mentor accidentally threw away my project and now I don't have a canvas and now I can't make it. So just throwing that out there one more time, especially when we get to these, the upper days like day 7, day 8, day 9. I would just be photographing it just in case something happens. That way at least you've got documentation of like where you ended with it, so that if something should happen, you're at least getting most of the points, right? Anyway, so thought I'd throw that out there again. I can't wait to see how these are coming along. I know they're looking amazing, and I can't wait for next class, because then I get to start checking them out a little bit more, getting you those grades, and we will see you then.